.500 football. And the Super Bowl rematch does not historically go in favor of the loser. Usually if you won the Super Bowl, you beat up on the team that you beat in the Super Bowl. But the Eagles did beat the Chiefs. So for Brock, Brew, must win?
Well, look, after the game against the Chiefs, guess who comes to town? The Cowboys. So there's a get right. Even if they lose this game, there's a get right game right there. Redemption
we just got
would be
Brew's
nice.
pick, and he didn't.
Just throwing it out there that there's redemption's coming if they do lose to the Chiefs. However, even with that said, it is a must-win. It's a must-win for the Niners because of, one, their record. They're 3-3. 8 teams in the NFC have a better record. I know they're at the top of their division.
That's right.
But still, like, every win is important for the Niners when you start out 3-3. So it's a must-win in that regard. And it's obviously been an up-and-down season. Lost to Arizona at home. They've looked great at times, looked poor at times. What better way to boost team spirit and really get yourself going on a run than to beat the team that is undefeated and beat you in the Super Bowl? So, yeah, for team morale, they need this win. It's a must-win.
It's an absolute must-win for Brock Purdy. At some point, they've got to live up to the hype. And the best way, if you want to be the king, the best way to do it is to beat the king. Brock Purdy's trying to get paid. What better way to do it than to go and lead this team over with a victory over the Chiefs, which I'm sure they'll do.
You're sure they'll do?
I'm pretty sure.
The,
I mean, I would pick it as an upset alert, but the line's too small.
What? No, the Niners are the favorite.
Coach goes,
the Niners are
game.
favored to win this.
Oh, well, that would be even worse. Maybe I'll have been the Chiefs.
All right, you guys are out of your minds. There is no team playing the Chiefs is facing a must-win. It's the opposite. It's a can't lose.
Oh,
What?
If you're.
I think, didn't you have the Ravens as a must-win?
That was a weird spot because psychologically for the Ravens because of how last year ended. But this is again the Niners should not be concerned with the Chiefs because it's a different conference. So many things have to happen for them to face each other in the Super Bowl. Most certainly the Niners have to get there. Also, Brew's point about that you glossed over, I felt, which is you're right. There's a bunch of teams in the NFC with a better record, but no one in their division. So the Niners fall to 3-4, they're fine. Seattle is tied with them in the division at 3-3. When you're playing the worst team in the league, if you're struggling or average, it's a must-win. So when you're playing the best team in the league, it can't be. So it's definitively not a must-win for San Francisco.
What is it making the least?
I don't know if
Nick's very literal.
Yeah.
I don't know if I
And what if you're
score
making the least amount of money?
What do you mean if you're hold on, Coach? Coach, the
count
idea
it.
that Brock Purdy's contract is going to be predicated on whether or not he beats Patrick Mahomes on October 19th is lunacy.
It's not going to be predicated on it, but it's going to be a strong negotiating point when you bring it up. Can you play with the big boys? Can you pull this team out of the mire that they're in? Yeah, that's going to be important.
Okay, moving on.
And Nick, for team spirit, they need this.
I don't think
that's
I
what
scored
must
this.
win
I'm
is
being
really
told.
Wait,
about.
are we scored?
No,
not
for the
Coach wants the
record,
point.
This
I
was
think
scored.
I should get the
Just
point.
hold on. Can I just tell you what happened here for the record? You don't score something or nothing. And you did yesterday.
Yeah, you
See?
Which
You
screwed
switched
it
the
up.
scoring.
This is the segment you score. But something or nothing you scored yesterday,
think
which
Wild
is why
was
it's
at the
surprised.
Wild
Surprised.
was hanging out with
Yes.
Nick.
Okay,
and
then let's just keep
Justin
going.
Timberlake
We'll
last
see
night.
how it goes with no score.
Boo.
Coach is gonna bring it down a
Yeah,
notch now. No
I'm
points
out.
involved.
Devontae Adams was hampered by a hamstring when he was with Las Vegas. Oh, it turns out, shows up in New York, feeling good. Take a listen.
Yeah, whatever a full load is, but definitely I'll be able to roll. I'll be feeling good right now, and was running around today. We had a jog through practice today, but it was good. Felt good running around.
Devontae, what was?
Okay, for Aaron Rodgers, must win.
I mean, this is a definitive must-win for the Jets. Like they have masterfully been able to, the last 3 weeks, switch the narrative from, well, that was a horrifying loss. They lose to the Broncos, and they have the little internecine war about cadence. And nobody's talking about the loss. It's like,
Yeah.
wait, was he calling him out? Wait, but I love the cadence. Oh, the cadence is fine. Oh, it's the media's fault. Me and Robert love each other. Please, Woody, fire Robert. Okay, no problem. We'll get to that afterwards. Then they lose the next game, and it's like, oh, the Jets are in real trouble, fired the coach. They lose the next game, the Jets are in real trouble, trade for Devontae Adams. They lose this game, they're just a 2-5 team that's on an interim head coach that has a quarterback that probably has 8 games, 9 games, how many games will be left? 10 games left in his career. So.
Yikes. It's a real must-win.
Yeah.
Retirement match.
Well, yeah, I mean, if the Jets miss the playoffs, I don't think Aaron Rodgers coming back next year. For who, for what? And so, yeah, it's definitively a must-win for the Jets.
I thought Brady was going to be the first guy to own part of a team, but ends up Aaron did when he got Saleh fired. So yeah, this is as an owner player, this is definitely a must-win. You get to make all the decisions. You got all the accountability. So I know he holds himself to a high standard, and he's accountable. So go be accountable.
Absolute must-win. Gotta get this. He's had, as everybody knows, he's running the franchise, like you said, Coach. So it is all on him. And he admitted, it's all on us. He kind of brought us in, the players. No, it's all on him. It is all on Aaron Rodgers. If they lose this game,
You'll even give up.
they're pretty much done. Yeah, because if you can't beat the Steelers
exactly right.
when you are absolutely desperate.
Steelers have the second best defense by points.
No, but
8th best yards per game.
Which is
I
why
went
they're
over
gonna
the
beat
schedule, and I'm not going back on my pick, but I'm just saying, looking at their schedule, we looked at it yesterday, and there are a lot of teams on there they can beat, but one of them should be the Steelers. Most of those teams are like Steelers level
in
teams.
Pittsburgh?
So that's the point.
you gotta win that.
So
You gotta win.
Drew, that's the point that I was trying to actually make yesterday, which is I totally agreed with you. They don't have really juggernauts left, but they also have not yet proven that they won't lose that game against anyone other than the absolute dregs of the NFL. And so, I'm sorry.
Short week for the people.
So like there is no reason, there's no game you walk into like, oh, the Jets can't lose that. And if you lose to the Steelers, then it's just like, oh, they're just a bad football team.
Bengals, almost touchdown favorites in Cleveland for their first game without Amari Cooper. Cleveland, that is. Joe Burrow coming off an okay performance against the Giants, but traditionally struggles in a major way against Cleveland.
This is crazy.
1-5 in his career. Nick, must win for Joe Burrow. This can be literal if you want.
No, it's literal.
Okay.
The Browns are on the short list of, they might be the worst team in the league. Like the Panthers probably win that, and the
There's a real
Patriots
battle,
might.
oddly.
But then after that, the Browns are, to me, clearly the most hopeless offense. Clearly the most hopeless offense. And I do think that there is such a sapping of morale by what's going on at the quarterback spot and the lack of accountability there and just the awful play. Bill Barnwell pointed out for the second straight week, Deshaun Watson threw a pick that only wasn't a pick because 2 defenders jumped into each other trying to pick it off. And you're seeing it all the time. Meanwhile, the Bengals, I believe in them because of their offense. But the offense last week couldn't block the Giants' front. Well, the one thing the Browns have is a good front with Myles Garrett. So yes, if the Bengals are going to be propelled to go from 1-4 to the playoffs, you have to stack wins like this one, and you have to be able to protect Joe Burrow. So definitively a must-win.
At some point, Joe Burrow has to break a curse, one of these curses, or to change the narrative, right? You can't beat Lamar. Guess what? They lose to Lamar this year. Now he's 1-5 against Lamar. He can't start a season off well. Oh, guess what? They start 0-3. You can't beat the Browns. This is actually a thing. He's 1-5 as you showed against the Browns. If you can't break this curse, then which one are you breaking? I mean, the Browns are a joke. They're a totally lost team at this point, especially offensively. Yes, it's a must-win for Joe Burrow.
Yeah, if we were scoring this, I would give you the point, Brew.
Thank you.
But the whole
should be scoring it.
The whole narrative.
I'm scoring it.
The whole narrative that there's a slow starting team has got to end if they beat the Browns. Like we've been beating that drum for a while, and now if they do go to 2-5 and like you said, they can't break any of these Joe Burrow curses. At some
No,
point,
if they lose-
at some point, like Nick says,
They're
they're
done.
just not a
They're
very
just not a
good
good
team.
team.
What can I ask? Flip side to this?
Yeah.